Hello everyone. Welcome back to Tech Matrix Edu. I hope you are all doing great. Today we are diving into a crucial topic for anyone in software project management. That's the daily stand-up. We are going to look at why it constantly gets stuck and more importantly how to make it actually work for your team. Now, if you work on a software team, whether you are a developer, a tester, or a manager, I am sure you have attended these morning meetings at some point. And let's be honest, have you ever sat there thinking that this meeting is totally unnecessary? This could have been a simple text message. As a professional, I see this happen all the time because most teams completely misunderstand the core concept of the meeting. And what is supposed to be a quick, energetic 15-minute sync ends up becoming a boring 30-minute status report that completely drains everyone's energy first thing in the morning. So, in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to fix that format. By the end of this presentation, you will know how to transform your stand up into the most productive 10 minutes of your team's day. So, first, let's look at the actual root cause of what is going wrong in the corporate environments. As you look at these three issues, I want you to ask yourself, does any of this sound familiar to your current workplace? So, the pain point number one, what I call the 30 minutes monster. Your calendar invite officially says 15 minutes. But the meeting routinely ends up taking 30, 45, or even 60 minutes. That's 1 hour of your morning. Nobody knows exactly how it happened. But the mistake here is that the team starts problem solving or chatting about non urgent things right in the middle of the meeting. Yeah. So things that should have just been a quick Slack message or a email. So everyone gets involved in such discussions in the meeting. Pain point number two is boss update theater. This is an incredibly common anti pattern in Agile. Have you ever been in a stand up where every single developer takes turns looking directly to the manager or a Scrum Master to say what they did? They are reporting up instead of collaborating with each other. In software development, remember this rule: if the team is only talking to the boss, it is just a standard status meeting where people happen to be standing. It loses all collaborative value. And pain point number three is zero blocker action. So, for example, a developer says, I am blocked on the API integration because the testing environment is down. Everyone notes politely, right? The meeting ends and everyone goes back to their desk. Nobody owns the problem, nobody follows up. And that critical blocker is still sitting there completely untouched the next day. So, here is the deep fundamental teaching insight which I want you to take away today. The culprit isn't the people, it is the format, right? So, your team members aren't trying to waste the time, but when the framework and meeting boundaries are broken, even the highest performing engineering teams will struggle. Now that we know what is broken, let's step back and look at what a true daily stand up is actually. Now, let's clear up the confusion and look at the actual theory. The daily stand up or daily scrum, as it is officially called in the Scrum framework, which is not a status report for your manager or project stakeholders. This is one of the single biggest misconception I see across the IT industry today. If you take away just one lesson from this entire presentation, let it be this: the true purpose of this meeting is Team Sync. It is a dedicated micro planning session where the developers coordinate with each other to see how they can collaborate to achieve the sprint goal. You are not reporting up to a hierarchy, you are syncing horizontally across the team. So, when you run a healthy stand up, you are looking to achieve exactly two core outcomes. First, you must spot blockers fast. In agile development, time is everything. If a teammate is stuck, the stand up is the designated platform to raise that red flag immediately before it wastes hours or days of quiet frustration. Almost always, when a developer brings up a problem, someone else in the room has faced the exact same issue before. They will know exactly how to fix it or who to call right after that meeting. Second, your goal is to adapt the plan. Agile is all about empirical process control, which means we inspect and we adapt. So during these 15 minutes, the team evaluates what actually crossed the finish line yesterday, reviews what is on the plate for today, and actively replans the day's work. So every team member should be focused on one ultimate question based on what we know right now and are we still on track to hit our sprint goals? That's it. That is the entire purpose of the event. As software professionals and students of project management, you need to remember if your morning stand up is not actively surfacing blockers and adapting your daily plan, your process is broken, no matter how short or long the meeting is. Now, let's look at the practical side of running this meeting. As you can see on the screen, I like to call this section as Choose Your Fighter. There are two main frameworks that software teams use to guide their daily discussions. The first option is the yellow card um, on the left, the classic three questions approach. You have probably seen this before. Each team members turns answering their simple things. What did I do yesterday? What will I do today? And are there any blockers in my way? From an educational standpoint, this format is brilliant for beginners or brand new teams. It is incredibly easy to learn and gives everybody a very clear, comfortable structure to follow. If your team is just starting out with Agile or Scrum, I highly recommend you start right here. But as an instructor, I have to warn you about the hidden trap. This format can very easily drift into boring status reporting because the questions focus entirely on individual persons. So, team members naturally start talking directly to the manager or scrum master instead of collaborating with each other. Before you know it, your quick sync turns right back into that 30-minute monster, right? We talked about earlier. That what brings us to the green card on the right. So the method I highly recommend for mature experienced teams. Walk the board. Instead of going person to person, the entire team looks at your digital taskboard together. But here is the secret trick. You scan the board from right to left. That means you start with the tasks that are closest to the done column and work your way backward, like from done to review, in progress, to do. that way. So instead of asking people for updates, you ask the board, is your sprint goal still on track? Which specific items are blocked or are at risk? And who can volunteer right now to get help to unblock their teammates? This approach completely shifts the team's psychology. It is naturally goal focused, not uh, person focused, right? It is incredibly hard for developers to drift off topic or stay quiet when the entire team is literally staring at a blogged user story together on the screen. So, if you are watching this at home, I want to hear from you that at least leave a comment below right now. Which methods does your software teams use? Because the classic three questions are you guys using walking the board? Let me know and let's see which framework is more popular. All right. So now you understand the core purpose of the stand up and you have picked the right framework for your team. But as an instructor, I always get asked, how do we actually enforce this day to day and keep it tight? To answer that, let's look at these three strict ground rules shown on the screen. So, before we break these down, go ahead and take a quick screenshot of this slide right now. So, you can share it directly in your Team Slack or Microsoft Teams tomorrow morning. Okay. So, let's look at the pink card. Rule number one, start on time, end on time. In project management, discipline starts with the clock. You should set a highly visible countdown timer. Set it for a maximum of 15 minutes. But honestly, a 10-minute target is much better for building high energy. If a team member is late, the stand up does not wait for them. Latecomers can catch up by their own time later by checking the board or asking team member. When you protect the start time, you send a powerful cultural message, your signal to the team that everyone's time is valued equally. Next up is the orange card. Rule number two, talk to the team, not to the boss. This requires a major cultural shift, but it is absolutely essential for self organizing agile teams. Everyone in the room or on the virtual call should be facing each other or looking directly at the task board, not looking at the Scrum Master or manager. In a true agile environment, the Scrum Master is there to facilitate and help the meeting run smoothly. They are not there to act like a boss checking in on everyone. Remember this fundamental lesson: the stand up belongs entirely to the team, not to the management. Finally, let's look at the green card. Rule number three, park deep dives. In my experience, this single rule saves more time than anything else. If a technical discussion or a complex problem solving talk takes longer than 30 seconds, someone on the team needs to call it out right away and say, let's park this and take it offline. And then you must actually do it. Schedule a quick separate follow up chat immediately after the stand up ends. Only keep the specific people who are needed for that issue. One private, deep technical discussion should never waste the whole team's morning. If you enforce these three guidelines you in your morning routines, it will completely transform the team's performance. Let's look at the actual data next to see the exact real world impact of these changes. Now, you might be wondering as a student or a manager, does this strict discipline actually work in the real world? Look at the actual data and outcomes when teams fix their format. As you can see right at the top of the slide, the maths is simple, but the impact is huge, right? Let's break down the three metrics shown on the screen. First, look at the red number on the left, 2 hours plus saved per week per developer. Teams with short, focused stand ups recover over 2 hours of a core engineering time for each developers every single week. Think about the scaling factor here. In a standard team of 6 developers, that means you win back 12 hours of useful productive work time every single week. That is an entire extra day of coding recovered out of thin air. Second, look at the orange metric in the middle. 100% blockers surfaced the same day. When you talk about problems and impediments right away without fear, you gain immediate visibility into your sprint. So, technical issues that used to stay completely hidden or ignored for 2 or 3 days now get flagged and fixed on the very same morning. Third, look at the green metric on the right, 3x more likely to hit sprint goals. This is ultimate benchmark for success. Teams that change and improve their daily plans during the stand-ups are 3 times more likely to finish their commitments. They are not just running a meeting for the sake of an agile checklist. They are actively using these 10 minutes to guide and steer their daily work. Okay, so and now to wrap up this lesson, look at the banner with the lightning bolt at the bottom of the screen. A short, sharp stand up is always the sign of a healthy engineering team. It is not just about the meeting itself, it is a clear reflection of the mutual respect, the discipline, and the high performing culture that your team represents every single day. So, to finish up today's session, let's do a quick recap of the core takeaways we have covered. Always remember that the daily stand up is never a status report for management. It is a rapid team sync designed to find critical problems and update your daily plan. So, depending on your team's maturity, you can use the classic 3 questions if you are just starting out, or to the walk the board method for a highly goal driven approach. Also, remember the 3 simple rules to maintain control of your timeline: start on time, talk directly to the team, and stop deep discussions. So, finally, following these protocols will easily keep your morning meetings under 15 minutes every single time. Okay, so now that we have covered everything and gained better clarity about how a stand up should actually work, I hope you guys found this session helpful. If you want to see more deep dives like this, please take a moment to support the channel. Like the video to help others find it, and share it with your colleagues, team members, or friends. Please subscribe to Tech Matrix Edu and click that notification bell so you never miss our on future project management and agile training contents. If you ever want to contact or have specific questions about building an effective daily stand up process, you can easily get in touch with me at the below given email. that techmatrixedu@gmail.com. My name is Yogesh Kumar. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time in learning with me today. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep improving, and most importantly, thank you so much for watching today's session. Stay disciplined, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.